Right. So then where are we at today?
Heartbeats, all is silence, darkness in the streets. We cut off the violence and put it to sleep. I can hear you breathing, feel you next to me. Heartbeats, all is silence, can't believe we're kissed. Thinking it's time to shine, we may give it all I want is you. Honey, you're just so wild, I'm telling you now, I'm so in love with you. Just wanna be with you. Hold me if I'm waking, catch me in my sleep. All these thoughts keep spinning, but you're grounding me. Time to heal, time to grow. This time I know I'm not alone. Hold me now, let it out. I know we found our home. Thinking it's time to shine, we may give it all I want is you. Honey, you're just so wild, I'm telling you now, I'm so in love with you. Thinking it's time to shine, we may give it all I want is you. Oh, honey, you're just so wild, I'm telling you now, I'm so in love with you. Wanna be with you. Arms around you, we're alone. My heart is racing, you're so strong. Take your time, lose control. Let's give in to what we know. Thinking it's time to shine, making it all I want is you. Honey, you're just so wild, I'm telling you now, I'm so in love with you. Thinking it's time to shine, we may give it all I want is you.
Hiya, I just wanted to say, for anybody who hasn't watched my channel before, I have functional neurological disorder, and it's a very complex condition to have. It affects how the brain sends signals to the body, and it's like a computer crashing all the time. I have a wide variety of symptoms. Not everybody with this condition, everybody lives with it differently. Everybody has different symptoms. I just happen to have a lot, which affects me cognitively as well as physically. So I always write in the description of each video I put on, apologising if there's any errors in the content. With a video of last year's video of when I talking about FND, so I always put a link to that as well, but I'm hoping to make another one as well. I'm not sure yet. I'm also come on to let you know that I am sorry about the way I look, that I got no makeup on or my hair's done and I'm in pyjamas, but that's the reality for me. But I hope the other things in each video I do makes up for that. And I really want to answer these questions to these lovely ladies, because they've been really good friends to me, even though I haven't met them in person. They've really made my journey throughout this worthwhile. I do feel like I've made some friends on here, and I really want to thank them personally. I'm going to link their names in the description as well, because they all have channels, and it would be lovely if you could check their channels out and support them, because I know they would love that. They're all lovely ladies, and I think you might like their channels. They share a little bit of everything, so please check them out. I want to, talking about health, I want to give a shout out to two of the ladies. Kath from Cozy with Kath. She daughter has got some health problems, and I'm hoping and praying that she's going to be okay for you, Kath. I'm sending me prayers to you both. And also to Kirsty. I actually cut the question short for Kirsty because I was getting a bit upset, because she's got some health challenges, and I'm totally in awe of her. You're a very inspiring lady, you really are. What a beautiful, beautiful girl you are. Her channel's called Positive Pod, and she brims with positivity, but she also shares real chats about her health as well, and always checking in on other people, just like all these other ladies do, and that's why I want to give a shout out to them all. Jennifer, Mrs. R, Judith, Sandra, Lisa, Mrs. C, Kirsty and Kath, and Nikki. Thank you so very, very much for being a great support to me, and yeah, you've really kept me going, so thank you for being my friend. Thank thank you so much for all the questions that you sent me. And I'm going to just go into it straight away and start off with Lisa's. And she said, what inspired me to start the YouTube channel in the first place? It was my mental health. That's what inspired me. My mental health was declining because of living with this chronic illness I have, and which leaves you in bed most of the time. And when you're in bed, when I was in bed, I had very little hope of being able to do something positive again. So I thought if I start vlogging and putting it on the TV screen, it would help me with my mental health. Now you might be thinking, why the TV screen and not just privately on a phone? Well, FND causes for me sensory problems, so I would not be able to watch it back on my phone. It would set off more symptoms. But if I'm laid in bed and I can watch it on the screen, yeah, especially when I go on a walk and see the lovely views, it looks better on a TV screen, and I just would picture myself being there again, and that gave me hope. It also, I could have had it on a private setting on YouTube, but then my family and friends wouldn't be able to see it. And I guess I'm pleased it isn't, even though I cringe because I'm in my pyjamas and no makeup on and my hair hasn't been brushed. But as much as I cringe doing the vlogs, especially being in front of the camera, for it to be on YouTube, on a public setting, I've made friends like you, Lisa, and local friends as well, like Judith. So all of you have been really very supportive of me, and it spurs me on. So thank you. So yeah, it was my health, my mental health. Looking back, how has your reason for creating videos, or even your experience of being a creator, changed over time? I would say, obviously because of the situation of my marriage breaking down, my husband's not in the vlogs anymore. My fur family are not. I don't get to see my granddaughter as much. So, because obviously my son, who lived at Rose Cottage as well, he works long hours, so, and he doesn't drive, so I obviously I don't get to see them regularly. So that experience of them being on the videos with me are no longer, well, with my son and my granddaughter, very few, and that's basically it. So it's been a sad time, especially because I've had to move from them all, and also my cognitive issues, and the more I tend to do, well, whatever I do, like say if it's a walk, I filmed. I don't film when I've fallen over in a walk. I don't film what it's took for me to see them views of the lovely village, like it was on the last chapter. Upcycles, it really hurts. It's very painful doing the upcycles. Being in front of it and talking to you, must have answered your question. You're only going to see me stroke once, but it must be 20 times I've answer this question because I keep making mistakes, so I've gone into a seizure. So it's got worse for me, and it's been very difficult to, because of my decline in health. And I have felt like giving up. But then I think to myself of when I didn't have it and I was stuck in that bedroom, and at least I can tackle one of my health problems, and that's my mental health. So I hope that's made sense to you, and thank you very much, Lisa. Right, then it's going to be Nikki. She said, what kind of music do I like? Now I'll be going around the block again to answer this one, because I like the music from the 60s, the Beatles, Simon Garfunkel, the Who, you know. I like the disco sounds of the 70s. I love Blondie. One of my favourite songs is Heart of Glass. But the 80s was my era because I was a teenager, and then I met my first husband and I got married in the 80s. So I have lots of fond memories of the 80s, of the first time going out clubbing. And I was a Durrani. I liked Duran Duran. And my favourite song from the 80s was Rio. And I used to like Town Called Malice and all of them lot. And yeah, Come on Eileen and all them. I used to like Oasis in the 90s, and obviously my first divorce was in the 90s, so I got the chance to go out dancing again. So I like the dance music from the 90s. And now I appreciate I like a haunting ballad, like Justin Hayward's Feather Autumn. That's one of my favourite songs. And I like Ava Cassidy's voice, and Barbara Streisand, James Blunt, Ed Sheeran. So there's a broad range that I like. So I hope that's okay. Yeah. Now Kath said, how did you discover you were good and wanted to upcycle items? Well, I've never thought I've been good, but I'm not a very confident person when it comes to upcycling, and I only started doing it in 2015. That's when I started doing it. And again, it was to tackle my mental health, because at the time I was coming off antidepressants and wanted to feel like myself again. But I knew that my mental health, yeah, I was more of a zombie on antidepressants. So I thought whilst coming off them, I would upcycle. And that took my mind off things. But 2015, I didn't know that I had FND then. I had symptoms, but I didn't know it was as bad. But I used to, I like that shabby chic look, but I could never afford the furniture. So I thought, give it a go, just why not? And the first thing I did was a dressing table for my daughter, and I used wrapping paper, and she liked it. So, and I think I favour the shabby chic thing as well, because it's less forgiving. I mean, it's more forgiving if you make mistakes. So yeah, yeah, I think I have a good idea in my head, but I don't think I'm a good upcycler. It's like, for instance, the last one I've done was a bread bin. I didn't want it to be as shabby and rustic as it looked, but I have very little materials. I'd fell on it when I was painting it. I couldn't rectify it, so I couldn't afford to get another bread bin, so I had to do a plan B. So yeah, my hands shake, they clam up, then I get a seizure, I'll fall, and yeah, but it helps me mental health. So I'll do anything to try and help me mental health. Yeah. So thank you. Kirsty said, what was the reason behind starting the YouTube channel? Have I said that already? Yeah. Oh no, I haven't. Kirsty, what was the reason behind starting a YouTube channel? Yeah, I think it's because I answered Lisa's, and it's because me health, because I was bedbound, and doing that channel just it gave me a bit of hope, you know, that I could do something like that again. So thank you. One, two, three, Mrs. C. She said, what's your favourite colour? Well, whites and creams. I like sage green, and I like a very delicate pink. They're my favourite. So thank you. Sandra, she's put, what would be a place that you would love to travel to? And because I haven't travelled a lot in my lifetime, there's loads of places. I would love to go along the Mediterranean coast. I would love to visit the Vatican City in Rome. I would love to, but I'm going to mention America, not just because you live in America, Sandra, but because I'm a big fan of Marilyn Monroe, and I've always wanted to visit where she put her feet and her hands in the cement, and also a home. And there's an island as well where one of my favourite films was made, Somewhere in Time, and they have no transport, they have no cars there, and I will link it if I find out what it's called, but I would love to have visited there. And most importantly, I would like to visit the Sunshine Coast in Australia, because my sister emigrated there in 2015, and I would love to visit her. I would love to see her again. She also said, what's my favourite foods from different countries? Well, when I was in Spain, I got a seafood paella, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And I've tried to recreate it here, and it's never been the same. And that was 25 years ago when I went there. And I've never forgotten how it tasted. So that I would say that was my favourite. And I also like the olives when I was in Turkey and in Spain, even when I went to Benidorm about 7 years ago now, 8 years ago, the olives absolutely beautiful. They don't taste the same in this country, definitely not. And any language would I like to learn? I've always thought of Spanish, Italian and French, but obviously I can't learn now. But I think I would probably just like to learn a language where I was going to visit, because I would love to talk to the locals, you know, have a conversation with the locals. So yeah, so thank you. Mrs. R's journal, Judith. She said, what was your favourite job and why? Again, it's like music. But the first one that comes in my head, I would say, was teaching. I always wanted to be a teacher ever since I was a kid. I used to always be the one who insisted on being the teacher when we used to play it. And when I got the chance to do it, it was fantastic. I taught a lady who was in her 60s to read and write, and she sent me a letter, and I'll treasure that. I even remember her name, Anne, and that was a long, long time ago. And I really, really enjoyed the teaching. I used to teach at the college and also in outreach places as well. But in the college setting, because I had 3 jobs on the go, I also worked in the college as a support worker and a learning support assistant. The support worker was the two lecturers, and for someone, when I did the interview, one of them was an IT lecturer. I didn't even know what a mouse was. I didn't know what a mouse meant. I don't know how I got the job, but I really enjoyed working with them 2 lecturers, the IT and the mathematician one, because they taught hairdressers, beauticians, public services, maths and IT. So I learned a lot from them lecturers, but I wasn't there just to help them. I learned a lot from them too. I also enjoyed working as a support worker to the students, because that's how I managed to do my teaching as well. It went hand in hand. As a learning support assistant and also as a training teacher, and so I also did teaching outside the college. Support worker to service users with learning difficulties in their own homes, and I also care work, and I've mentioned all of them, Judith, because they were all challenging but rewarding. And also I like to help somebody get back, like with regards to if it's education, with care, support. It gives me a sense of acknowledgement, accomplishment I should say, a sense of purpose to get up and tackle my mental health, to go to work, because I knew somebody was there who needed us, who was especially when I worked in care. Yeah, I've gone round the block to say that. but I hope that's okay. Yeah, they were my favourite jobs because of that. And I had hoped to have embarked on a counselling career too, but it wasn't to be because of my health. And I, again, the same answer, because of, yeah. The other one was, you're super talented at upcycling and writing poetry. Thank you. I'm trying to learn to say thank you to a compliment. I'm not very good at that because I'm not a very confident person, but I will say thank you, because I automatically want to go, no, but yeah, thank you, Judah. When did you get your inspiration? Well, again, touching down on the upcycling before, it was my mental health, and the writing poetry is my mental health as well, because from an early age, without going into detail, writing poetry was an escape for me, to escape what was happening to me. So I guess the bad things inspired me to do something creative, which is a good thing in a way, because I can look back on them things and think to myself, well, something good come out of those traumatic times. I've also been inspired with poetry with my family and friends. Like recently I wrote a poem for my daughter for her birthday, and I got it made into a song. And talking about that, I also wrote a poem called Time to Heal, with regards to the breakup of my marriage and how I felt, and got made, that was inspired by my poem and got that made into a song. So yeah, what activities give you the most joy? Being with my loved ones, regardless of what activity it is, just being in their company. And I think, like, my favourite, taking my loved ones out of the equation, would be walking, being around nature. I've always been a fan of that, and I love to watch them back, especially the walks, more so than anything, after my family and friends. Seeing that the views of Stanhope on my last chapter, and watching that in bed, thinking that I could never ever see that view again. So to see it again and to remember how I felt, yeah. So being around nature, definitely my favourite. So Jen, she's put, what season do I enjoy decorating? Right, I would say my favourite is Christmas, because it's, because I live on my own, at Christmas time I do a Christmas tree of me heavenly loved ones, and so I don't feel as lonely, and it's a way of my putting them in my home. I also to just cozy up and watch a Christmas classic like It's a Wonderful Life, and see all the candles and the Christmas tree lights, and yeah, and then to look over and see the angels on the other Christmas tree. So that's my favourite season. Season for the home to decorate. And do I find decorating and upcycling therapeutic? The process, no, because obviously it's very painful for me to decorate and upcycle. But it's therapeutic for my mental health, to see that finished product, to look around the home, for it to be safe and comfortable and cosy. That helps me health as well. So yeah, and I think that's it. I'm not sure. But touching down on what Lisa and Kirsty said about doing the channel. Now, I don't know, I felt like giving up. I said I felt like giving up. And if it hadn't been for the lovely comments I received on my last chapter from yous, I probably would have. And then my mental health would have been worse. I think it's going to get worse. And I hope that I can try to do as much as I can. That's why my channel isn't a channel where I say like, subscribe and that, because I can't do it regularly. But I hope to try to do as much as I can. And I want to thank you so much for giving me these questions to answer, and I hope I've made sense. Yeah, because I always worry that I've said it wrong. Yeah, so thank you.
when you wake while you lie sleeping, when the working day is done. Through the windy, wild and barren, over mountain pass once more, I would sail the wide blue ocean if it would land me on your shore. Weary eyes, come look upon her, leave your troubles at her feet. When you're called unto the yonder, sing the joyful chorus sweet. All the earthly flowers are blooming in her everlasting light. 'Tis the time to greet the morning. Come now, step out of the night. Lay me down in heather purple, lay me down in fields of green. She will send the song